Hello, everyone. I'm Elena, and today we're diving into the secret sauce of everyday English small talk. Think of it as the friendly handshake of conversation, those quick, easy chats that help you connect with anyone, whether you know them well or you're just meeting. Small talk isn't just polite, it's the social superpower that makes every interaction smooth, natural, and genuinely enjoyable. In this episode, I'm going to arm you with 100 sparkling, super useful small talk starters you can use effortlessly in any situation. We'll uncover why these little chats are so important, how they build bridges between people, and exactly how to use each phrase with confidence. I'll share real life examples for every single one so you'll know not just what to say, but how to say it. Get ready to unlock your conversational confidence and make your English truly shine. Let's get started. Let's start by defining what small talk actually is. Think of small talk as light, informal conversation. It's not about deep topics or serious issues. It's about sharing a brief, friendly moment with someone. You hear it everywhere. A quick comment about the day's events, a question about someone's plans, or a simple observation. People use small talk at work, at school, in shops, on public transport, or when greeting a neighbor. It's a natural part of daily life. The purpose of small talk is to break the silence, make people feel comfortable, and show that you're friendly and approachable. It helps you build rapport without getting into personal details. We focus on common, neutral topics like current events, shared surroundings, or general well-being. The great news is you don't need perfect English or complex sentences to do it well. Just a few simple, natural phrases can make all the difference. And today, we're going to equip you with 100 unique, everyday small talk starters that are easy to learn and put into practice. And let's dive into our first set of phrases, focusing on perhaps the most universal small talk topic, the weather. It's always changing, and everyone has an opinion on it, making it a perfect conversation opener. I'll give you 10 unique phrases. Listen, learn, and then practice with the examples. What a beautiful day, isn't it? This phrase is perfect for initiating a positive and gentle conversation when the weather is bright, sunny, and generally pleasant. It's an observation that nearly anyone can agree with, making it a low-risk, high-reward opener. For instance, imagine you're greeting a neighbor. You could say, "What a beautiful day, isn't it?" And they might respond, "It really is. So glad the sun's out. It's quite chilly out there today." This expression is used when the air feels noticeably cold, perhaps surprisingly so, but not quite freezing. It's a simple, relatable observation that can be made indoors or outdoors. For example, if you just stepped inside an office building, you might turn to a colleague and say, "It's quite chilly out there today." They could reply, "I know, I almost needed a heavier jacket. Looks like we might get some rain later." Say this when the sky appears cloudy or gray, suggesting precipitation is likely. It's a gentle, predictive comment about the weather that allows for a quick exchange. You could say this to a stranger at a bus stop. "Looks like we might get some rain later." And they might nod and say, "Yeah, I saw that on the forecast." This heat is really something else, isn't it? When the temperature is exceptionally high and possibly uncomfortable, this is a perfect phrase. It expresses a mild surprise or slight exasperation at the intensity of the heat. You might say this to a fellow shopper in a supermarket. "This heat is really something else, isn't it?" They could respond, "Tell me about it. I'm melting. Hasn't it been wet this week?" This is a common way to comment on a period of sustained rain, typically over several days. The hasn't it invites agreement. It's suitable for ongoing conversations with people you see regularly. You could say to a colleague, "Hasn't it been wet this week?" They might reply, "Yes, I'm tired of it. My garden is loving it, though. The weather's been a bit unpredictable lately." Use this phrase when the weather has been highly inconsistent, perhaps shifting quickly between sunny, rainy, warm, and cool days. Oh, it's a neutral observation that many people will agree with. Imagine talking to another parent at school pickup. "The weather's been a bit unpredictable lately." They might agree. "I know, right? I don't know what to wear anymore. So glad to see the sun today." This is a cheerful and optimistic phrase to use when sunny weather returns after a period of cloudy, rainy, or dull days. It conveys personal relief and happiness, which can be infectious. You might say this to a barista as you order coffee. "So glad to see the sun today." They could smile and say, "Me too." Makes such a difference, doesn't it? It's absolutely freezing outside. This phrase implies extreme cold, even colder than chilly. It's often used with an air of dramatic emphasis when you first come indoors from very low temperatures. You could say it to anyone you encounter indoors after being outside, like the receptionist at your office. "It's absolutely freezing outside." And they might reply, "You're right, I'm glad to be inside." Feels like spring is just around the corner. This is a hopeful and pleasant phrase to use when the coldness of winter starts to ease, and you can feel the signs of warmer spring weather approaching. Share it with the neighbor you see in the garden. "Feels like spring is just around the corner." They might say, "I hope so, I'm ready for it." "Who would have thought it would snow today?" This phrase is used when snow arrives unexpectedly, particularly if it wasn't forecasted or if it's unusual for the time of year. It expresses shared surprise or disbelief. If you see a colleague looking out the window at the snow, you could say, "Who would have thought it would snow today?" They might reply, "I know, it came out of nowhere." Next, let's explore small talk in the workplace. These phrases help you build friendly relationships with colleagues, creating a more comfortable and collaborative environment. They show you're approachable and interested in more than just work tasks. Here are 10 unique small talk starters perfect for the office or any work setting. "Are you having a busy day so far?" This is a polite and empathetic way to acknowledge a colleague's potential workload and open a brief, non-intrusive chat. You can use it as you pass someone in the hallway. For example, "Are you having a busy day so far?" And they might say, "Yes, it's been pretty hectic." "How's that project coming along?" Use this phrase to show genuine interest in a specific piece of work or task that you know a colleague is involved in. You could ask this during a break. "How's that project coming along?" They might reply, "It's going well, thanks for asking." Just a few more things to wrap up. Were you able to attend the morning meeting? This is a practical small talk question for discussing a recent meeting, especially if you know the person might have been involved or interested. If you see a colleague just after a meeting, you might ask, "Were you able to attend the morning meeting?" They could say, "Yes, I was there. It was quite informative. I definitely need another cup of coffee." This is a universally relatable and lighthearted way to express a feeling of needing more energy or simply enjoying coffee. You can say this at the office coffee machine. For example, "I definitely need another cup of coffee," and a colleague nearby might chuckle and say, "Me too. I'm running on empty." Looking forward to the end of the week, are we? This phrase is commonly used towards the latter part of the work week, typically on a Thursday or Friday. It's a shared sentiment that connects colleagues over their anticipation for the upcoming weekend break. As you're leaving the office on Friday, you could say, "Looking forward to the end of the week, are we?" And they'll likely reply, "Absolutely, can't wait. It feels like a long day today." This expression conveys a mild sense of the workday being particularly drawn out or tiring, often said with a hint of fatigue. It fosters empathy and a feeling of, "We're in this together." You might say this to a colleague during a quieter moment. "It feels like a long day today." They might respond with, "I know, right? It feels like it's never ending." "The office seems pretty quiet today, doesn't it?" This is an easy and neutral observation to make when fewer people are around than usual, or the general atmosphere feels unusually calm. If you bump into someone by the water cooler, you might say, "The office seems pretty quiet today, doesn't it?" They could agree, "Yes, it is, isn't it? Maybe everyone's working from home. Do you have any plans for after work?" This is a friendly and gentle question to show interest in a colleague's personal time without being intrusive. You can ask this as the workday winds down. For example, "Do you have any plans for after work?" They might reply, "Just heading home to relax," or, "Yes, I'm meeting some friends for dinner." That meeting went on forever, didn't it? This light comment is perfect for immediate use after a particularly lengthy or tedious meeting. It's a way to acknowledge a shared experience of enduring a long session. To a colleague who was also in the meeting, you could say, "That meeting went on forever, didn't it?" They will likely agree, "Tell me about it. I thought it would never end." "It's good to see you in person again." This is a warm and professional phrase to use when you meet a colleague face to face, especially if you've been working remotely or simply haven't had an in-person interaction in a while. At the start of an in-office day, you could say, "It's good to see you in person again." They'll likely respond with, "You too. It's nice to be back." Now let's learn phrases for public places like cafes, buses, or waiting rooms. These are situations where you might be near strangers, and a simple phrase can make the interaction more pleasant. They show you're aware of your surroundings and open to brief, polite exchanges. Here are 10 unique small talk starters for public settings. "Is this seat occupied?" This is the polite and direct question to ask when you want to sit down in a public space, such as on a train, in a cafe, or a waiting area. You might ask someone near an empty chair, "Is this seat occupied?" And they will usually respond with, "No, it's free," or "Yes, someone is sitting there." This queue is moving quite slowly, isn't it? This phrase is perfect for when you're waiting in a line at a shop, bank, or airport, and progress is noticeably slow. Oh, it's a gentle shared complaint or observation. You can say it to anyone standing near you in the queue. For example, "This queue is moving quite slowly, isn't it?" And they might reply, "You're right, I've been here ages. It's quite crowded in here today." An easy and neutral observation to make when a public place like a shopping mall or museum is noticeably full of people. If you're in a busy shop, you might remark to another customer, "It's quite crowded in here today." And they might agree, "Yes, it certainly is. I wasn't expecting so many people. I visit this place pretty often." Use this phrase if you are a regular at a specific cafe, park, or local shop. It can signal familiarity with the place. You might say it to a cashier you recognize, "I visit this place pretty often, and they might respond, "Oh, really? What keeps you coming back?" The coffee here is always excellent. This is a specific and positive compliment about a product offered, particularly suitable for a cafe. It's an easy way to share a positive opinion. While waiting for your coffee, you could say to the person next to you, "The coffee here is always excellent." They might say, "I agree, it's my favorite." Do you happen to know what time they close? This is a practical and polite question to ask in a shop or public library. While seeking information, it also serves as an easy, functional small talk opener. You might ask a fellow customer, "Do you happen to know what time they close?" They'll either tell you or say they don't know. Quite a wait today, isn't it? Similar to commenting on a slow line, this phrase acknowledges a significant delay in service, such as at a doctor's office or a customer service center. It expresses a shared, mild frustration or patience. To someone else in the waiting room, you might say, "Quite a wait today, isn't it?" They'll likely nod or say, "Yes, it's been a while." "This is my first time visiting here." A straightforward and open statement to make when you are new to a specific location like a restaurant or a new gym. It invites the other person to offer a welcome, provide tips, or share their own experiences. If a staff member greets you, you could say, "This is my first time visiting here," and they might respond, "Welcome. Let me know if you need any help." This place has a lovely atmosphere, doesn't it? This is a positive comment about the general feel or vibe of a location, such as a cozy cafe or a peaceful park. It's an inviting observation that encourages agreement. If you're sitting in a cafe, you might comment to someone at an adjacent table, "This place has a lovely atmosphere, doesn't it?" A typical reply would be, "Yes, I really enjoy coming here." "Are you a regular here?" This is a common and polite question to ask someone in places where people might visit repeatedly, like a gym or a specific cafe. It's a gentle way to probe for common interests. At the gym, you might ask someone next to you, "Are you a regular here?" They might say, "Yes, I come almost every day," or "Not really, just passing through." Connecting with your neighbors can make your living environment much more pleasant. Even if you don't know them very well, a friendly greeting goes a long way in building community. Small talk here is often brief and relates to shared aspects of your neighborhood. Here are 10 unique small talk phrases for neighborly interactions. "How are things with you today?" This is a casual and friendly alternative to "How are you?" used for a quick check-in as you pass a neighbor on the street or in the hallway. As you walk past a neighbor gardening, you could ask, "How are things with you today?" They might reply, "Good, thanks." "And you? Your flowers are looking really vibrant." This is a specific and warm compliment about something positive you notice on their property, like their garden or a pot of flowers on their balcony. Compliments are excellent small talk. You might say, "Your flowers are looking really vibrant." They'll likely say, "Oh, thank you. I've been working hard on them." Perfect weather for being outdoors, isn't it? Use this when you see a neighbor actively enjoying the nice weather outside, perhaps walking their dog or just sitting on their porch. It's a gentle observation that relates directly to their current activity. Seeing a neighbor out with their dog, you could say, "Perfect weather for being outdoors, isn't it?" They might respond, "It certainly is," trying to enjoy it while it lasts. Have you just moved into the area? This is a direct but polite and welcoming question to ask someone you haven't seen before in your neighborhood. It shows that you're friendly and open to greeting new residents. If you see new furniture being moved into a house, you might approach and ask, "Have you just moved into the area?" They could say, "Yes, just last week." Please don't hesitate to ask if you ever need a hand. This is a very kind and thoughtful offer of help, especially valuable for new neighbors or for anyone who looks like they might need assistance. If you see a new neighbor struggling with heavy bags, you could offer, "Please don't hesitate to ask if you ever need a hand." They'll almost always respond with a sincere, "Thank you, that's very kind of you." I think our delivery services must be confused sometimes. This is a lighthearted and humorous comment if you notice the same delivery vans or drivers frequently stopping at both your house and your neighbor's. It's a relatable observation. You might see a shared delivery driver and remark, "I think our delivery services must be confused sometimes." They might laugh and say, "I know, right? They're always here." "Could you tell me when the garbage collection is?" This is a practical and genuinely useful question, often used by new residents, or if there's been a change in local waste collection schedules. It serves as a functional small talk starter. You could ask a neighbor, "Could you tell me when the garbage collection is?" They'll usually just tell you the day. Your dog is so friendly. This is a highly effective and pleasant compliment if your neighbor has a pet, especially a dog, that is behaving well or seems happy. Most pet owners love hearing something positive about their animals. If your neighbor's dog wags its tail at you, you could say, "Your dog is so friendly." They might reply, "Oh, thank you. He loves people." The street feels incredibly peaceful today. An observation about the general ambiance of the neighborhood when it seems unusually quiet, calm, or serene. It's a simple, agreeable statement. If you're both outside enjoying a quiet afternoon, you might remark, "The street feels incredibly peaceful today." They'll likely respond with, "It really does, doesn't it? It's good to cross paths with you again." This is a warm and polite phrase for a neighbor you've seen before but don't know very well, acknowledging a repeated encounter. It's a friendly way to build a slow, steady connection over time. When you see them at the local shop, you could say, "It's good to cross paths with you again." They'll usually reply with, "You too, have a good one." Moving on to social events like parties, dinners, or gatherings. Small talk is crucial here for meeting new people and navigating conversations smoothly. It helps you break the ice and find common ground. Here are 10 unique phrases to help you connect in social settings. "Hi, I'm Elena. What's your name?" This is the most direct, yet friendly and effective way to introduce yourself to someone new at a social gathering. It's simple, clear, and immediately puts them at ease. Remember to use your own name. You could walk up to someone and say, "Hi, I'm Elena. What's your name?" They might reply, "Nice to meet you. I'm Mark." How do you know the person hosting this event? This is a perfect question for a party or gathering, as it helps you understand the other person's connection to the event and the host. It's polite and often reveals common acquaintances. You might ask someone, "How do you know the person hosting this event?" They could say, "Oh, I work with them." Or, "We've been friends since college." Have you attended this type of event before? Ask this if the event is recurring, part of a series, or has a unique theme. It's a soft way to gauge their familiarity and can lead to a discussion about past experiences. At a book club meeting, you might ask, "Have you attended this type of event before?" They might reply, "Yes, I come every year." Or, no, this is my first time. I really like your jacket. A specific and genuine compliment about an item of clothing or their overall style is an excellent icebreaker. It creates an immediate positive feeling. You could approach someone and say, I really like your jacket. They might say, oh, thank you. I just got it last week. The appetizers are delicious, aren't they? This is a safe, universal, and easily relatable topic at any event where food is served. Everyone notices the food. You can say this while standing near the food table or to someone holding a plate. For example, the appetizers are delicious, aren't they? They'll likely agree, absolutely, I can't stop eating them. Is it usually this lively here? This is a neutral observation about the energy level or crowd at the event. Well, it's a simple fact that allows for easy agreement or more information about the venue. At a bustling party, you might ask, is it usually this lively here? They could say, yes, it often gets this busy. I feel like we've crossed paths before. Use this phrase if someone looks familiar but you can't quite remember where or when you met. It's a polite and gentle way to prompt them to clarify. You might say, I feel like we've crossed paths before. Have we met? They might say, oh yes, weren't we at X event? Where do you call home? This is a common and friendly way to ask about someone's origin or current place of residence. It's a good, polite question to learn more about a person's background. You could ask, where do you call home? They might mention a city or a country like, I'm from Sydney, Australia. What keeps you busy these days? This is a more casual and broad way to ask about someone's occupation or main daily activities, without being as direct as, what do you do for a living? It opens up various avenues for conversation. You might ask, what keeps you busy these days? They might reply, oh, I'm teaching English online. Or, mostly renovating my house. It was lovely to meet you. This is a warm, polite, and gracious way to conclude a conversation with someone you've just met. It leaves a positive and friendly impression. As you're about to move on to another conversation, you could say, it was lovely to meet you. They'll usually respond with a reciprocal, you too. When you're in shops or cafes, simple small talk can brighten interactions with staff and other customers. These phrases help make those everyday moments a little more human and pleasant, even for brief exchanges. Here are 10 unique small talk starters for these environments. It's quite busy here today, isn't it? This is a straightforward and gentle comment on the observable crowd level in a shop or cafe. It's a universally agreeable observation. As you wait in line, you might say to the person behind you, it's quite busy in here today, isn't it? And they could agree, yes, it certainly is. I wasn't expecting so many people. This cafe makes excellent lattes. This is a specific and positive compliment about a product offered, particularly suitable for a cafe. It's an easy way to share a positive opinion. While waiting for your coffee, you could say to the person next to you, this cafe makes excellent lattes. They might say, I agree, it's my go-to order. Have you ever tried the pastry selection here? A light question about food or drink options, perfect for a bakery or cafe. It invites an opinion or recommendation from another customer or even a staff member. To another customer browsing the display, you might ask, have you ever tried the pastry selection here? They could say, oh yes, the croissants are amazing. They've updated their menu, haven't they? This phrase is an observation about a recent change in the offerings or layout of a shop or cafe. It's useful for starting a conversation with regular customers or staff who might have also noticed the change. You might comment to a barista, "They've updated their menu, haven't they?" They could respond, "Yes, we just added a few new seasonal drinks." "Can I pay with a credit card here?" While a functional question before purchasing, it also serves as a simple and polite interaction with the cashier. It's a necessary piece of information, but delivered in a way that opens a very brief exchange. As you approach the counter, you could ask, "Can I pay with a credit card here?" The cashier will simply confirm yes or no. "The aroma in this place is incredible." This is a fantastic compliment about a pleasant smell, such as freshly baked bread or roasted coffee. It expresses appreciation for the sensory experience. Walking into a bakery, you might say to the person next to you, "The aroma in this place is incredible." They could say, "Isn't it? It smells so good." Do you have any personal favorites here? Ask this when you need help choosing an item from a menu or a selection of products. It politely invites staff or another customer to share their top picks. When unsure what to order, you could ask the cashier, "Do you have any personal favorites here?" They might offer, "I always get the item. It's delicious." "I tend to order the same thing every time." This is a relatable comment if you're a regular customer at a cafe or shop and have a consistent favorite order. It's a lighthearted way to share a personal habit. If the barista asks if you want your usual, you could chuckle and say, "I tend to order the same thing every time." They might smile and say, "Me too, I'm a creature of habit." "This is my first visit to this particular store." A straightforward and honest statement to make when you are exploring a new shop or cafe. It effectively signals to staff or other customers that you might be looking for guidance or recommendations. If a shop assistant asks if you need help, you could say, "This is my first visit to this particular store." And they might respond, "Welcome. Let me know if you're looking for anything specific." Hope you have a fantastic day. This is a positive, warm, and friendly closing remark as you conclude your transaction or leave the establishment. It's a polite wish that leaves a good impression. As you leave a shop, you could say to the cashier, "Hope you have a fantastic day." They will likely return the wish. When you're traveling by bus, train, plane, or taxi, you often find yourself near new people, sometimes for extended periods. A little small talk can make the journey more comfortable and less awkward, or even lead to an interesting brief encounter. Here are 10 unique phrases for travel and transport. Is this seat occupied? This is the fundamental polite inquiry to make before sitting down in any public transport setting or waiting area. You might ask someone near an empty seat on a bus, "Is this seat occupied?" And they will usually respond, "No, it's free." Do you happen to know our estimated arrival time? This is a practical and common question to ask a fellow passenger when you are unsure about the exact arrival time of your train, bus, or flight. You could ask someone sitting next to you on a train, "Do you happen to know our estimated arrival time?" They might check their phone and say, "I think we're due in about 15 minutes. Is this the correct boarding gate for the flight to City?" This is a crucial and direct question to ask at an airport, especially if you're feeling uncertain about your gate or platform. You might ask a fellow traveler near your gate, "Is this the correct boarding gate for the flight to London?" They would confirm or correct you. Quite a long trip ahead of us. This phrase is a simple observation, acknowledging that the journey will take a significant amount of time. It's a relatable comment that often elicits a sympathetic nod or agreement. On a long bus journey, you could comment to the person next to you, quite a long trip ahead of us. They might say, "It certainly is. I've got my book ready." Do you often travel for work or leisure? This is a friendly and gentle question to learn more about a fellow traveler's habits and the purpose of their journey. It's casual and open-ended. You might ask a seatmate on a flight, "Do you often travel for work or leisure?" They might reply, "Mostly for work, unfortunately," or, "Oh, this is a holiday trip. I always seem to misplace something when I pack." This is a humorous and highly relatable comment about a common travel frustration. It often brings a smile or a shared laugh from others who have experienced the same. At the airport, you might jokingly say to a fellow traveler, "I always seem to misplace something when I pack." They could respond, "Me too. I always forget my toothbrush." Have you had good experiences with this airline? Ask this question to a fellow passenger while waiting at the gate or sitting on the plane if you're curious about their past experiences with the specific airline. You could ask, "Have you had good experiences with this airline?" They might share a positive story or a minor complaint. Fingers crossed for no disruptions today. This is a common expression of hope that there will be no delays, cancellations, or other problems during the journey. It creates a shared sentiment with fellow travelers. Waiting for a delayed train, you might say to someone nearby, "Fingers crossed for no disruptions today." They'll likely respond with a hopeful, "Yes, absolutely. Are you getting off at this stop as well?" This is a casual and practical question to ask a fellow passenger on a bus or train when you're approaching a common or major stop. It's a simple way to confirm a shared destination. As your bus nears a large station, you could ask, "Are you getting off at this stop as well?" They will likely confirm, "Yes, this is my stop." Wishing you a pleasant journey. This is a warm and kind parting wish to a fellow traveler as you conclude your interaction or prepare to part ways. It's a polite and friendly way to end a brief conversation. As you leave the airport lounge, you could say to someone you chatted with, "Wishing you a pleasant journey." Okay, talking about the weekend is one of the easiest and most popular small talk topics. It's casual, friendly, and everyone has something to say about it. We use weekend talk to connect at work, with neighbors, or even with strangers in a casual setting. Here are 10 unique small talk starters about the weekend. What are your plans for the upcoming weekend? This is a straightforward and common question asked typically on a Thursday or Friday to inquire about someone's leisure activities for the next couple of days. It shows polite interest. To a colleague on Friday, you might ask, "What are your plans for the upcoming weekend?" They might say, "Just relaxing at home," or "I'm going hiking." How did your weekend turn out? This is the perfect question for Monday morning, designed to reconnect with coworkers, classmates, or friends after their time off. It shows polite interest in what they did during their break. On Monday morning, you could ask a colleague, "How did your weekend turn out?" They'll likely share a brief summary like, "It was great, thanks. Very relaxing." Did you manage to do anything enjoyable? This is an excellent follow-up question after asking, "How was your weekend?" It specifically encourages the other person to share exciting, fun, or satisfying activities. After they say their weekend was good, you could follow up with, "Did you manage to do anything enjoyable?" They might reply, "Yes, I went to a concert. I mostly just took it easy at home." This is a common and honest response if your weekend was spent in a relaxed, low-key, or quiet way without many specific activities. It's highly relatable. If someone asks about your weekend, you could say, I mostly just took it easy at home. The other person might agree with, sounds perfect. Doesn't the weekend just fly by? This is a highly relatable and common comment that expresses the feeling that the weekend passes too quickly. It's a shared sentiment that often prompts immediate agreement. On a Sunday evening, you might say to a family member, doesn't the weekend just fly by? They'll likely say, it always does. I didn't get up to much, honestly. This is a simple and understated way to say that your weekend was quiet or uneventful, without sounding negative or apologetic. It's an honest response that keeps the conversation low pressure. If someone asks about your weekend and you had no major plans, you could say, I didn't get up to much, honestly. They might say, "Juan, that's okay. Sometimes a quiet weekend is best. I caught up on some much needed rest." This phrase indicates that your weekend was primarily dedicated to sleeping or relaxing to recover from a busy week. It's a very common and understood activity for many. If asked about your weekend, you could reply, I caught up on some much needed rest. They might respond with, sounds like a great weekend. Are you looking forward to anything specific next weekend? This question shifts the conversation to the future, focusing on upcoming leisure or personal plans. It's a friendly way to see if they have anything special. You could ask a friend, are you looking forward to anything specific next weekend? They might mention, I'm hoping to visit a new art gallery. Did you have a pleasant one? This is a more informal and concise way to ask, did you have a good weekend? Or did you have a good day trip? It's a warm, quick check-in. As you greet a colleague on Monday, you could ask, did you have a pleasant one? They'll often reply, yes, I did, thanks. The weekend can't come soon enough. This is a cheerful and enthusiastic expression of anticipation for the upcoming weekend, often used towards the end of the work week. It's a positive and widely shared sentiment. On a Friday afternoon, you could exclaim, the weekend can't come soon enough. Your colleagues will almost certainly agree with, you're telling me. Let's dive into topics that help you discover hobbies and interests, moving beyond basic small talk to find shared passions. These phrases can lead to more engaging and personal conversations if you wish to explore them further. Here are 10 unique phrases about hobbies and interests. Are you much of a reader? This is an open-ended and gentle way to ask about someone's reading habits. It's broad enough to allow them to talk about books, magazines, or online content. You might ask a new acquaintance at a party, are you much of a reader? They might say, yes, I love to read. And then you can ask about their favorite books. What kind of tunes are you into these days? This is a casual and modern way to ask about someone's musical preferences. Music is a universal connector. You could ask a friend, what kind of tunes are you into these days? They might share their favorite genres or artists. Like, I've been listening to a lot of indie folk lately. Do you follow any particular sports? Inquire about their involvement with sports, whether as a participant or a fan of a team or event. It's excellent for discovering shared passions. At a casual gathering, you might ask, do you follow any particular sports? They might reply, yes, I'm a big football fan. Caught any good films or shows lately? With the popularity of streaming services and cinemas, this is a very common and easy small talk starter. It invites discussion about recent movies or TV series. You could ask a friend, caught any good films or shows lately? They might say, oh yes, I just finished a great series on Netflix. What do you like to do in your free time? This is a broad and friendly question that encourages the other person to talk about any leisure activities or hobbies they enjoy outside of work or daily responsibilities. It's open ended, giving them the freedom to share what genuinely interests them. You might ask, "What do you like to do in your free time?" They might reply, "I enjoy painting and hiking." Any interesting pursuits outside of work? A slightly more formal but still casual way to ask about their hobbies, passions, or major projects that aren't related to their job. It conveys interest in their life beyond the professional sphere. To a new colleague, you could ask, "Any interesting pursuits outside of work?" They might say, "I've been learning to play the guitar." "Have you discovered any great podcasts or series recently?" This is a contemporary small talk question that taps into the booming popularity of audio content and serialized visual entertainment. It's perfect for finding out about new listening or viewing experiences. You could ask, "Have you discovered any great podcasts or series recently?" They might say, "Yes, there's this amazing true crime podcast." "Are you passionate about cooking or baking?" Food and culinary arts are often wonderful discussion points as many people enjoy them. This question specifically asks about their enthusiasm for creating food. You might ask a friend, "Are you passionate about cooking or baking?" They might say, "Absolutely, I love trying new recipes." Visited any interesting places around here lately? Ask about local explorations or new spots they've checked out in the vicinity. This could be anything from a new restaurant, a museum, a park, or a local event. It invites them to share their recent experiences and can provide you with ideas for your own outings. You could ask a neighbor, "Visited any interesting places around here lately?" They might say, "Yes, I tried that new cafe downtown. It was lovely." What's your go-to restaurant hobby genre? This is a direct yet friendly way to ask about a specific preference within a general category. Using go-to implies their favorite or most reliable choice. For example, "What's your go-to restaurant?" Or, "What's your go-to type of music?" This immediately leads to a deeper discussion about shared tastes or introduces you to something new. Finally, let's cover some more general small talk phrases and those that gently touch upon future plans. These are highly versatile phrases that can be used in many contexts to keep a conversation light, polite, and forward-looking, helping you transition out of a conversation gracefully or simply offer a pleasant closing. Here are our last 10 unique small talk starters. "How's your week progressing so far?" This is a pleasant and polite way to inquire about someone's current week, especially useful mid-week. It encourages a brief update on their current activities. On a Wednesday, you could ask a colleague, "How's your week progressing so far?" They might reply, "It's been pretty busy, but good." Anything exciting on the horizon for you? This is a gentle and open-ended way to ask about future plans or upcoming events without being too direct or intrusive. Oh, it invites the other person to share if they have something fun planned. You might ask a friend, "Anything exciting on the horizon for you?" They might mention, "I'm planning a weekend trip next month." Looks like you have a lot on your plate. This is an empathetic observation to make if someone appears particularly busy, stressed, or seems to have many tasks or responsibilities. It's a considerate phrase that shows you've noticed. If you see a colleague rushing, you could remark, "Looks like you have a lot on your plate." They might say, "Tell me about it." "It's been a hectic week." "Have a wonderful rest of your day." This is a warm, positive, and versatile parting wish that can be used almost any time of day. It's a common and polite way to end an interaction. As you leave a shop after a quick chat with the cashier, you could say, "Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care of yourself." This is a caring and common way to say goodbye, conveying a genuine wish for the other person's well being. It's suitable for almost any informal departure. After a conversation with a friend, you might say, "Well, take care of yourself. I'll see you around, I'm sure." This is a casual and friendly goodbye that implies you expect to see them again, but not necessarily at a specific time or place. It's often used with neighbors or colleagues. As you part ways in the office corridor, you could say, "I'll see you around, I'm sure." They'll often reply with, "Sounds good. It was a pleasure chatting with you." This is a polite and pleasant way to conclude a conversation, indicating that you genuinely enjoyed the interaction. It's suitable whether you've known the person for a long time or just met them. After a good conversation at a party, you might say, "It was a pleasure chatting with you." They'll typically respond with, "You too. Looking forward to catching up again soon." This phrase expresses a genuine desire for a future conversation or meeting. It's warmer than a simple goodbye and suggests that you value the connection. At the end of a phone call with a friend, you could say, "Looking forward to catching up again soon." They might say, "Me too, let's do it." Enjoy your afternoon evening. This is a common and polite parting wish that is specifically tailored to the time of day. As you leave work in the late afternoon, you could say to a colleague, "Enjoy your afternoon." If it's later, you'd switch to "Enjoy your evening." Are you all set for upcoming event or holiday? This is a focused and friendly question to check in about a specific future event or holiday that you know the other person is involved in or looking forward to. For example, to a colleague who mentioned their vacation plans, you could ask, "Are you all set for your vacation?" It shows you remember their plans and are interested. And there you have it, our incredible listeners. We've just unwrapped 100 sparkling small talk starters, each packed with detailed insights into not just what to say, but why it works and how to use it like a pro. Think of this as your personal toolkit for effortlessly navigating everyday English conversations. From weather wonders to weekend plans, you now have the power to connect, engage, and genuinely enjoy every interaction. Remember, small talk isn't about diving deep, it's about gracefully building rapport and making every social moment a little brighter. Now here's the magic trick. These phrases only truly come alive when you use them. Don't wait for perfection. Start small, pick a few, and simply try them out. Embrace being friendly, open, and authentically you. With a little practice, you'll find these expressions aren't just memorized lines, they'll become second nature, truly flowing effortlessly from your lips. This is Elena signing off from English in Moments. If you found this episode helpful, if you're ready to make your English shine even brighter, and if you want more incredible lessons like this, then do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Join our growing community and let's continue this amazing English journey together. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in your incredible progress. You're doing absolutely fantastic. Bye for now.